I'm just going to come out and say it. At 8:07 in the morning, two dudes were butt fucking in the handicap stall. Your doctor called me and said that your nuts are basically like two hard-boiled eggs.
That doctor is a fucking bitch and a liar.
I mean, I just wish she would stop.
Hard-boiled eggs? Plus, I'm dumpy now.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody wants to see those stretched out lyrics on your weird, dumpy body. I have absolutely nothing wild planned this week because my week has been filled with mediocrity as it always is until I'm sitting across from this handsome son of a bitch from the mic. Welcome back to the Dapper Dads podcast, everybody.
A respectable one, folks. It only took 61 episodes.
Well, you know, I had a bunch of wild trauma from my childhood to get out.
Oh, yours is done?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's done, but I'm finally getting to a point where I can be a more sociable animal. Let's put it that way.
I would say I have 67 more episodes in me.
Well, we all know we all know drama's trauma runs deep.
It does. And what else runs deep? www.thedapperdads.com.
I'll take it.
It's full of wormholes into upscale conspiracy theories.
There is lots of fun little nuggets hidden all over the website that nobody seems to have found yet. It's incredible.
Not one, and it's shocking. There's a lot out there. There is also merch. The merch store is up. It's beautiful. I'll say it now because probably by the time this airs, since it's fall, it's getting chilly. All the shirts that we have are available in long sleeves as
100%.
well. And we might be working on some other things that'll keep you warm during the nights when you cry by yourself.
And let me tell you, Slim is a known professional about crying at night by himself.
Slim is a cold, cold bitch.
I am actually a warm-hearted bitch, but life has made me very, very cold. So why don't you know what? It's big guy season. It's starting to get chilly out there. We could get down to like 30 degrees tonight is what I heard. Where's all my cuddle buddies at out there? Who wants to come be Slim's cuddle buddy for the winter? I'm taking open applications right now.
I'm
big.
I got spoiler alert, it ends in a fingering.
I mean, lots of things with me end in fingerings, but only consensual fingerings. I want to put that out there. I only hand out fingerings when they are added as part of the package before the cuddling begins. I do not. The only fun surprises that get snuck in are possibly cute little tea cakes and fun little drinks that I make.
Exciting. I'm going to stop by. You can also leave a anonymous submission there. Just click on submit and put in a fake name and fake email, and we don't know who you are, and tell us a secret or a fun thing or a story or an anecdote or a question.
Do we have any anecdotes or fun things this week?
Nope, nothing.
Once again, interesting.
Another dry one. Everyone listen to that episode 60 that just came out a week ago when you're hearing this, and
60 was wild.
Let's just say we're sober for this one. Well, currently sober for this one.
I got about 3 beers and a mystery cup I'm going to be drinking. Watch the video for that one.
I'm sober.
Okay, if that's what we're going to go with.
Fucking email dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com with whatever the fuck you see fit. Call 402-7-DAPPER. That is 402-732-7737. And we are about to throw it out onto the internets and see. We're going to try and take a live call if anyone calls.
Should I go ahead and post it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and post some things.
Fantastic. So what we are testing out right now is a brand new feature we have here on the show. We said we're going to be bringing some exciting things in year 2 for you guys, and this is one of the ones we've been working on.
And it's been requested.
It has been requested quite a bit. So hopefully this is something you guys are going to be taking full advantage of. We're still figuring out exactly when to do it because, you know, obviously we don't want people calling ahead of time on a Friday being like, oh, am I on the show? Exactly. But I mean, like, if you want to call and see if you're on the show, why the fuck
not?
All
the other times it goes straight to voicemail, so you guys can leave a voicemail, which will still be in effect. So still call and leave us a voicemail or text the number. But yeah, we're trying this out. It hasn't been done before. It hasn't happened yet. So we're going to see. Hopefully it works. We really don't know. We gave it a weird test and it got out of control. So
it got wildly out of control.
Get that dongle plugged in so you're ready to rock.
Oh, I always got my dongle plugged in. I don't know who the fuck you think Slim is, but Slim's always got his daddy dongle ready.
Speaking of social media, follow us on Twitter @DapperDads, where we tweet words combined together to form sentences that are sometimes coherent. Follow us on Instagram @DapperDadsPodcast, where all the leaked nudes are from time to time.
Matt the God just sent us this.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what that is.
This is a burger dog. I actually remember seeing a thing about this. It's a restaurant in Australia that created this, and it really doesn't seem that hard. It seems like you just cut a hamburger in half and put a hot dog in the middle, but I guess
the bun is the real.
And that's what apparently they make their own buns at this place, so they decided to. It's just a hamburger bun with like a dick on the end, and then it's taking a shit out the other end. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like your body.
It's like a turtle without legs.
My favorite meal.
Nothing like some good old turtle soup.
I like turtle legs. Like people eat frog legs, I eat turtle legs.
You ever had frog legs?
Nope, but I feel like we've been over this.
I have.
Yeah, we've been over everything.
Delicious.
That's why we need your submissions, because without that, this train is off the rails, and it's not always fun, folks. It's a lot of anxiety and stress, to be honest.
To be 100% honest with you, that's what I thrive off of.
Yeah, it's the only thing that keeps me functioning.
It's the only thing
will kill me by 36.
It's the only thing that makes my ADD pale in comparison.
That's true. Speaking of ADD, I have a fucking beef that I want to address.
Oh, we got beef on the show here now?
You need to put your feet away.
No, I'm trying to play footsie with you.
Back on sketchy territory.
They're back on probation.
Yeah, the right one at least. You know how it is.
What'd you do this time?
Nothing. Well, I kind of worked out and.
You worked out?
A little bit.
What do you mean you worked out?
I mean, I worked out.
What, like you went to a gym and worked out?
No, I don't have money, so I did.
Did you like put on a little outfit and get get sweaty and stuff like that? Like, what'd you do?
There's a DVD at my house that's one of those DVDs that you do it along to. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to crush it. I know some people who got real thin off of it. And so I was like, I'm going to give this a whirl at some point, and I finally got around to it, and it was fucking brutal.
Yeah?
It was fucking crazy.
Good
it's one
workout
of those
at
where
least?
You don't stop. Well, I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of squats, which I don't squat as much as I guess, besides shitting. And it really fucking burned my fucking thighs for like 3 days walking up and down stairs.
Well, when's the last time you worked out? High school?
I mean, yeah, no, because I did go to a gym a couple years ago, maybe like 2 years ago, but I feel like I couldn't utilize it, and I don't like people, people in gyms, worst people.
They just introduced a new system in Russia with their subway system where if you do 30 squats in front of this machine, it gives you a free ticket for the day.
That's exciting.
It's because they're trying to push like exercise in that country, I guess, because apparently people are getting fat off
vodka.
I assume, just vodka, potatoes, and borscht.
From what I understand.
I mean, I'm sure there's other Russian food, but I don't exactly know what it is.
I don't care to.
If you know what Russian food is, why don't you go ahead and call 4027-DAPPER and let us know, because as far as I know, it's just bland fish and potatoes and beets.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that diet. No weird shits coming from that.
Oh, I mean, how many pounds of shit do you think come out of Russia a day?
Not enough.
Are you sure about that? It's the biggest. It's the biggest country.
Russia's the biggest country.
You look at. Have you ever looked at Russia on a map?
I think we've been over the fact
like
that I don't look at maps.
It's like a whole continent.
Yeah, so is Antarctica.
Yeah, I think Russia is bigger than Antarctica.
I don't need facts here.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a map of Russia.
What happened to us, man? We used to be factless and just flying free.
I mean, how
shut me down? Always with geography, making me look real stupid.
Well, how big do you think Russia is?
Not as big as Antarctica.
It's okay. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and point this out on a map for you. Do you see?
Sick of looking at maps on this.
Do you see this whole big thing right here?
Sure.
So, like Europe cuts off here. This is like Italy. Great. Now, it brought me to Google Maps. I want to see how long do you think it's gonna take us to drive to Russia? Let's go ahead.
It tells you to get in a boat. I've done this.
Let's go ahead and start with our current location.
And it tells you to get in a boat. It just says, find a boat.
It says can't find a way there.
Oh, see, it used to, because I did it one time to see how to get to, Europe, and it gets you all the way to, the coast, and then it just says, rent a boat or something.
Okay, here you go. You see all that landmass right there? That's all Russia.
I've seen bigger.
You have not.
Yeah. What about the moon?
You think Russia isn't
What about the fake moon?
You think the fake moon is bigger than Russia?
The fake moon is huge.
But how big
is What about hollow Earth? What about the inside of the Earth where the Nazi zombies live?
Apparently, the hole into the hollow Earth is in Antarctica somewhere, and the fear
you got to fly into it.
Well, yeah, you got to fly into it because apparently there was some plane in 1917 that flew into an open hole.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, you're familiar with the conspiracies. You stay up all night on Reddit just like I do, looking into all the crazy shit. But apparently that's the way in. Is there's a giant hole when you fly over Antarctica, and it's just this big gaping hole in the earth, and you fly into it, and then that's where so there's dinosaurs.
Yeah.
There is all kinds of other animals and plants that aren't recognized.
And
yeah, and then there's a whole nother race. Well, I don't know about goblins, but there's for sure Morlocks.
There's fairies, there's goblins.
There's got to be Morlocks too.
Fairies and goblins are friends.
Well, if there's goblins, there got to be goblin cunts. So are the goblins like the Are the goblins like the bad ones and the fairies are the good
ones? That was a weird statement.
I mean, if there's lady goblins, they gotta have goblin cunts.
No.
There's gotta be fairy cunts too.
No.
Oh, that one sounds bad when I said it. As it came out of my mouth, it sounded way worse.
They all sound bad. I'm gonna edit them.
You can't edit out that.
I'm just gonna bleep out goblin and fairy.
So it just says cunt all over?
No, it says beep cunt.
No, what's better, kids? Fairy cunt, goblin cunt, or beep cunt?
Bitch, come out, you hear that? Beep, beep, beep. What was I saying? Oh, you want to hear my favorite conspiracy theory that no one ever talks about?
Denver Airport?
No, that's my favorite, like, one that could be possible, and it's just very weird.
Let's hear it.
Like, can't be explained. Mattress firm. Have you heard about this?
Oh, I have not. But your bright, shining eyes from behind that pop filter tell me I'm about to go on a wild ride.
This is one that will change your day-to-day life if you, like, travel anywhere. Because I heard about it a while ago from a YouTube video, of course. And it's the fact that if you find a mattress firm, most of the time, you'll see several other mattress firms around them.
Like the store?
Yeah, the store mattress firm, the mattress store.
In what conjunction, though? Like, how close together?
Very close. Like, shockingly close.
Do we have a mattress firm here in town?
We do, and our Rockford is not a good example of it because there is only one. Where I live, there's two across the street from each other.
Really?
I was out in, like, Naperville or somewhere by Chicago. There was 3 next to each other.
So what's the conspiracy
in one road up by Chicago, there's 6.
Okay, so it's a geological fact that they are within close like proximity to each other, but what's the conspiracy behind it?
It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense, but what's
like money laundering or some
kind of like the Arby's conspiracy?
Well, yeah, similar to Arby's, which is also a valid point. But then there's some.
What did they just buy? What was the link I sent to the chat earlier this week? It was Sonic. They're gonna buy Sonic, and they just bought B-Dubs.
Well, yeah, they've owned B-Dubs, which I feel like is even crazier than Sonic.
Well, and I was reading into it. The guy who owns all of this, the guy who owns Arby's, he was like a small shareholder who, during a stock market low, bought every single share of Arby's. He bought every single one from everybody because he owned like 12.5% of the company, and then he went from 12.5 to 100% ownership. So as soon as he took over Arby's, they acquired, what was it? It was Buffalo Wild Wings and then something called Rusty Taco. Have you ever heard of that before?
Rusty Taco.
I mean, I've seen a few I've seen a few Rusty Tacos in my day, but you won't catch my mouth near one. That's how you get tetanus.
But yeah, the thing with Arby's, we've been over this. We don't eat Arby's. The other half of the dad squad.
Yeah, there was a heated argument about Arby's in the chat.
The one time I went to Arby's because of their influence, they told me to get a sandwich, and I went there, and it took so long, like they don't make sandwiches, that I started to believe this conspiracy theory because they have so much money. Like Buffalo Wild Wings is huge. Sonic is large as well, but it's not everywhere.
Yes,
Buffalo Wild Wings is like everywhere. Like way bigger than Arby's to me.
Okay, so but think about it. We have 2 Buffalo Wild Wings in proximity. Well, 3, because we got the one in Rockford, there's the one out in Loves Park, and then there's the one isn't there one in DeKalb too? Yeah,
there's like they're pretty much everywhere.
But like there's way more Arby's in town than there is B-Dubs.
I guess you just don't look at it. I don't look at Arby's.
I don't think about it. I mean, I clearly a restaurant whose slogan is "We have the meats" is not something I'm going to be going to a lot. But I was a big fan back in the day because my dad was a big fan of it. When we got a phone call coming through.
All right, plug us up.
Let's check it out. We're going to hold you up to the mic. Okay. There we go. How's that? Okay, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yep.
Okay, fantastic. We just got our first live caller on the show. How you doing, bud?
Doing great. How you doing?
Doing well. We are just, we're here in the Dapper Dungeon just recording episode 61. You are actually our first live caller ever on the show. How does it feel?
Woo!
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. First caller. Great. Very cool.
So what do you want to talk about, bud?
Anything. I just hopped on Facebook and my wife, you know, just said, hey, call the number. They're taking live calls. So I thought, hey, I'd give a call and see how it's going and go from there.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory? I don't know if you can hear.
My favorite conspiracy theory is ET visitation. That's my favorite one.
Okay, so just like extraterrestrials coming to Earth and visiting us?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think we actually do get visited by extraterrestrials on a regular basis?
Absolutely.
Do you think they're probing us?
Absolutely.
Do you think we're getting probed, or do you think they're just mutilating cattle?
It's funny. I have a theory. It's not my own theory. It's one that I've learned from researching the topic since 2008. That it's not actually ETs mutilating cattle. It's a very controversial theory.
Okay, so who's doing the cattle mutilations then if it's not the ETs?
It's a covert black ops group that's in league with another group that's trying to scare everybody into believing that ETs are here to abduct us and harm us and all this stuff, but it's actually a manufactured scare tactic.
Okay, so basically the basis behind this theory is that the aliens are visiting us peacefully, but so the government makes us more scared. They're doing all these mutilations to make it look like that.
Sort of, except the government is not necessarily the proper word to use for that. That's the biggest misnomer. It's like the government is too broad of a word for that, because most people in the government have absolutely no clue what's going on. That's why people say, oh, how could they possibly keep a secret? Government can't keep a secret. It's not the government. It's
like a shadow government.
Basically, it's a shadow government, right. It's a shadow government that has tentacles within the government and within all governments around the world. But it's not the government per se.
So it's the man behind the man behind the man behind the throne.
Basically, yes.
Okay. Now, something we were just mentioning here on the show, we were mentioning the mattress firm conspiracy. Have you heard about this?
No, I have not.
Okay, so it falls in line with an Arby's conspiracy that we have, which is that there's so many, if you see a mattress firm store, there's usually 2 or 3 within close conjunction of each other, and the running theory is that it's like a money laundering operation or something for the mob, because there's no way there's that many mattresses.
It was also bought by like one high up conglomerate that no one can like figure out why they bought it. There's a lot of weird. We'll have to get into it more, but it's interesting.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard that one, but I have heard something. I heard something a couple of years ago along the lines of, I think it had to do with the Walmarts that were closed down and they were being used.
I've heard about this.
Something, yeah, but I don't really remember the detail. I've been, I haven't been in for a while. I've been kind of out of it and gone into more fiction, but. Yeah, the truth is stranger than fiction, as they say.
I guess they do. I remember, have you ever seen that Joshua Fahrenstein guy, like the really crazy loud Christian guy on Facebook?
I think I've seen him, but I didn't pay too much attention.
I remember you mentioned the Walmart thing. I remember a specific video of this guy. He goes on these long like Facebook rants from his car, and he was driving around an abandoned Walmart parking lot, and he's like, "Do you look?" And he's like a knockoff Christian Alex Jones, if you want to put it that way. But he was driving around, and I guess the theory was these were like being shut down for like FEMA camps or something, where there was going to be like a big disaster, and so they were going to herd people into Walmarts to keep them safe or something like that, or they were going to make them like internment camps or something. I remember reading about this forever ago, but then it just got like swept under the rug, like most conspiracies. All right. For some reason, our call got dropped, I think, but that was our first live call on the air. Zach, if you can still hear us, we can't hear you for some reason.
Listen to episode 61 when it comes out.
Yep, you'll be featured on our new episode 61 when it comes out next Friday. So, man, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. All right.
Yeah, have a good night, bud.
You too. All right. Bye.
First call.
Exciting.
Fantastic.
We got to figure out this setup, so it isn't just straight through the speaker. But
no, we're gonna keep doing it that way. It's more fun that way.
No, we gotta figure, because then it will actually run in, because it'll help.
Yeah, that'll work a lot better.
We'll see if another one comes through, and we'll try the actual system again. But yeah, that was exciting. So let us know if you guys enjoy that, and we'll try to streamline it and make it better.
Yeah, go ahead and let us know what your favorite conspiracy theory is by calling 4027 Dapper. Give us something crazy we've never heard. We've all heard about the
mattress firm thing. Just to elaborate, apparently it was bought by some like conglomerate company, and no one can figure out why. They usually buy old mattress stores. Like the one I'm by was a Sleepy's, and then Mattress Firm took it over. And if you look, people are never buying mattresses. You know what I mean? You buy a mattress and you don't buy a mattress.
Well, and to be 100% honest with you, every time I've ever gotten a mattress, I've never gone to a mattress store. I've either gone to like a furniture store, or like go to like Sam's Club and you can get like a mattress with a box spring for like $200 or something.
Well, that's what I mean. There's not enough people buying mattresses.
Same thing with Arby's.
The one thing is people say like mattresses take up more space, so instead of having warehouses, they just have like floor, but there's still not people buying. I don't know. Look into it. It's fucking weird. And like I said, when I first heard it, I was like, whatever, and kind of brushed it off. And then you see them, and now every time I'm out somewhere, I see one, and I look for its brothers and sisters, and there's always several. Like, it's fucking weird.
Have you ever? Okay, the craziest one.
Also, we are now coast to coast. Yeah, we are officially now coast to coast.
Dapper Dad's coming at you live, coast to coast. We're basically just like Art Bell for the most part.
I'd like to be George Norrie.
Oh God, can we please?
R.I.P. or Art Bell died?
Art Bell died. Okay. Yeah, George Norrie is still alive. Yeah, he still does stuff on Ancient Aliens all the time.
Norrie. Yeah, I think he gave up because people were calling and being like, "This is your exact address," and it got fucking,
oh my God,
the internet made it weird. But yeah, taking our first call and having it be about conspiracy theories
was fantastic.
Has put us in a whole nother bracket.
Oh yeah, I want to say
also if we keep doing live calls, call with something to talk about.
Yeah, like, give us something.
Obviously,
crazy
this one was random, and if we get more, they're probably going to be random. But give us what we normally look for: stories, questions, would you
anecdotes.
rather?
Three quick ones are always a fantastic one.
Whatever.
We'll banter with you on the phone. It's fun shit.
It's exciting.
Okay, so the craziest conspiracy theory that I've read recently is called the Israeli shark conspiracy. Have you heard of this at all?
I have not.
Okay, so
I want to make it known that I don't actually like sit up and look into conspiracy theories. I come across them.
It depends on how drunk and lonely I am, to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah, if I find one, then I'll do some research, but I try not to. I used to be like crazy into like Illuminati.
Okay, so do you know that there's that meme format where it's like the iceberg, and they usually do it with like films or music where it's like normal, little weird, weird. Also, they had that with conspiracy theories one time, so I saw all the crazy ones. I'm like, well, I gotta look into this, you know. And the Israeli shark one is one that stuck out. Apparently, so obviously we're not a political show, but there is the whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict going on, and the theory is that Palestine released a bunch of wild man-hungry sharks into Israeli waters at this very popular beach that killed like 2 or 3 people. Because apparently sharks are not known in that area, nor are they known to swim that close to the shore. It's just an area where it's like a tourist area where they don't have to deal with. But all of a sudden, in one day, they had like 3 people die from a shark attack from various different sharks that were coming into the area. So the conspiracy theory is that the Palestinian government planted these sharks in the water just so that they would eat Israeli people.
Interesting.
I 100% believe that's just a bunch of crazy bullshit.
Well, yeah.
Because, okay, so to believe that theory, you have to believe that these foreign governments have like... So if you believe in this theory, you have to believe that governments all over the world just have a retainer of animals that they can use at any point.
Of course.
Because it would be foolish to assume that these world governments just have tanks of sharks that they're going to be using for these things. They got to have like birds, bats, wolves. I'm assuming some bears, like land animals, depending on the area of the region. You know, I feel like in America, they probably got like bears and Bigfoots locked up in cages for certain government things. Man, what if that was a thing? The government's just keeping Bigfoot locked up so they can use it for nefarious purposes.
Crossed the line that I'm not comfortable with.
Oh, I'm very
anyway,
comfortable.
My initial point before whatever the fuck has happened here was I have some beef with I live.
Oh God, that was like
literally
30 minutes ago.
Yeah, we got way out there, and that's what happens, and that's how we become a specifically conspiracy theory podcast.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I think the shoes have been filled by others. Anyway, so I live by a 4-way stop, and I have to deal with it multiple times a day. It's like literally right next to my house. Do you ever see the people who are giving peanuts for like whatever change you have in your car? They stand at the 4-way stop. There's a person you've never seen this
ever.
It's like a lot of like Shriners and like children's organizations. So what happens is it's usually 4 old people in the middle of the road.
I've seen like the firefighters doing the boot
very
thing.
Similar to that, but like that feels less aggressive to me. These people just stand there. And so you have to approach them, and it really works up my anxiety approaching them. And basically, you give them any fucking amount of money, and they give you a thing of peanuts. And
so I can give them a penny for some peanuts.
Yeah, I think the peanuts are basically free. It's just a donation, and it usually all goes to like
how much do peanuts really cost? You know, like wholesale peanuts.
I don't know. They're all in little bags. I've had the peanuts before, or like it'll be mint sometimes. Anyway, my issue is it fucking ruins the 4-way stop. Because people in general don't know how to fucking do a 4-way stop.
No, at all.
And it irritates me every day that I have to fucking deal with it, because you'll pull up. I'll pull up before the other person, and I know I did, and then I start going, and they start going. If I have, when we get that real podcast money, I'm driving my car into people that go when they weren't supposed to go. I'm just driving.
So obviously you're gonna have to get like an armored car, like a tank.
No, I'm just gonna
something
have
with a cow catcher on the front.
A retainer of garbage cars. I'm gonna have like 10. Just hoopties.
I like the idea of a garage full of 10 hoopties that we can just pull from whenever we need it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't wait for that day.
I mean, you're never going to run out of...
I'm drunk. Give me the keys to the hoopty garage.
Yeah. Well, we have that money. That'll get us out of that problem.
Okay, it's got to be all the Dapper Dads dinger...
Yeah, we'll
fine-tune it.
Yeah, we'll have to workshop that.
I'm one beer deep. I'm not as fast as I could be.
My problem is people just fucking... And then you have to sit... And they stand right there. So then you're at the 4-way stop waiting for... And people will stop and like talk to the people. So they'll pull up first and you're like, all right, it's their turn to go. And then they're buying peanuts. So then you're like, do I go or do I wait for them? Then you start to go and then they start going. And I ate other people.
Well, and I can't imagine these seniors are handing out peanuts in a timely fashion either.
No, and they all want to chit chat and change lives, and it's a fucking nightmare. And then it'll be there for like.
What are they doing it for? Like, what are they supporting?
It's usually like kids, Miracle
like the
Network,
Shriners and stuff like that.
Shriners, different fucking charities.
I've just never run into a situation where they.
I've run into it 2 times this week.
Really?
Normally, it's not that frequent.
Is it in your town that you're running into it, or is it here in Rockford?
No, it's literally next to my house.
Really?
So I have to keep going by that 4-way stop.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll be there all fucking day.
Can you get me some peanuts next time? I would like to try these.
No, I don't have change in my car, and
get some.
I'm not fucking. No, I'm not promoting this because I hate them.
I'm asking for a favor.
No, I won't do it for that. Fuck these people. They ruined my day.
Well, that's
my
a bold
other
statement.
beef that I've had happen to me. I was in the bathroom, and at the bathroom at a public place, which you have a bathroom story I would also like to get into.
Which one?
The one you texted me about, the follow-up to last week's bathroom story. I don't want to talk about that one. We just got to touch on it because I read it differently, and it makes it more exciting.
You read it very differently.
But I was in the bathroom at a public place. There is a sink, a urinal, and a stall. So someone's in the stall. I'm pissing at the urinal. And it's common that people come in and will be like, oh, there's people in here, like you would.
Yeah.
And then they wait outside or they just go pee somewhere else.
But some people have no discretion.
Someone came in and I'm peeing at the urinal and stood right behind me and waited for me to stop peeing.
Like, didn't even give you room to like turn around or anything like that once you finished?
There's room. He was like backed up against the wall, but just the pressure of someone standing directly behind you and they're just staring at the back of your head.
I would like to talk that so last Saturday when we went out, we were out at what was that, what lanes was it?
Park lanes.
There's so many goddamn bowling alleys in town. We were at this bowling alley watching a band with.
Jumped at Don Carter.
Really? Let's get into that next.
I prefer not to, honestly.
But we were out with Young Kurd checking this band out, and we stopped at Los Portales beforehand and got excellent service as always.
This was after we recorded the podcast.
Yeah,
episode 60. So we were itching for some food.
Yeah, so we went out drunkenly, went to our mainstay Los Portales. She is our main bitch, and we love her. We wish she was open till 2 a.m. again, but we understand.
She used to be open till like 4.
We understand it attracts some less than favorable characters, as we have seen there before. And then we went and checked out this bar, and of course the company that Young Kurd keeps is always fantastic dudes. They're all fantastic people. I know a bunch of them listen to the show, so shout out. If you are a friend of Young Kurd, you are a friend of this podcast.
Yeah,
so
well, debatable.
Well, I was also told that after we left, there was a bunch of shots in there, and everybody raised their shots and drank to the Dapper Dads, which everybody
everybody do that.
Anybody who drinks to the Dapper Dads is a friend of the show, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And so we were outside. We were getting ready to leave. We were having our goodbye cigarettes, and we were talking about meeting different various local news celebrities in public places.
Yes.
And I forget which one it was, but I guess they had seen him in a bathroom somewhere. And
that was my story.
Was it? Can you tell the story, please?
Yeah, I don't want to say who it is because it's too topical.
But just tell the story because when someone screamed, I thought about it for a week every time I was sad, and it made me so happy.
Because people, how people like think people are celebrities and they're not, and that's like local news,
like us. Yeah.
Oh yeah, also us. We're not celebrities. We're what, M-list celebrities? We're N-list celebrities.
X-list celebrities.
Okay, that gives me hope. But yeah, so one time I was in a bathroom at, I don't even remember, like a waterfront or something. It was a while back. And there was a very popular news anchor from the local area was at the urinal. And of course, people were like, hey, it's that guy with like his full government name. And you could tell that the pressure, which this would happen to me too.
Yeah.
No offense to him. But people were just like calling him out while he's trying to piss at the urinal. And then clearly it was, it didn't take long to realize that he wasn't able to piss because of the constant pressure of people screaming and recognizing him. So he just packed it up and left. And then someone goes, hey, full government name. He's got a shy bladder. He can't piss. Which, so like,
that's what every man wants to hear as he's walking out of a public bathroom. You know, he wants to be recognized for his talent and then be told, you got a nervous dick.
Yeah, be nicer to your local news anchors.
Yeah,
they can't pee in public because it's crippling.
I very drunkenly recognized a local news person at Old Chicago one time eating a giant plate of chicken wings on his birthday. And they like announced it in the restaurant. Yeah. They're like, hey, he's here for his birthday. And so like the whole restaurant sang happy birthday to him. And then like we were all drunk and we're like, we watch you. We've seen you on TV.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Because we were like drunk. We were like drunk 21-year-olds just being stupid, you know?
I used to see the one meteorologist just screaming. He used to do the news on that corner way out there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I used to kind of live there. And he'd go by and he was clearly shit-faced, like in between them cutting to him. And he would just be screaming at cars. Like, I do the weather, bitch. And he's a big, beautiful man.
If you don't think that I stand out on the very busy corner of State and Mulford and scream, I'm a dapper dad, bitch, at everybody that drives by, especially 12, you're very wrong.
Well, yeah.
Went from 11 to 13 because fuck 12.
So don't fucking stand behind people in the bathroom. Don't make it awkward for people. We're all trying to piss, and I think everybody has a shy bladder unless I'm drunk.
Well, apparently some people aren't shy in bathrooms, which is my story.
Yeah. Well, to preface it, the last episode, if you haven't listened for some reason, you're just jumping in. Hi, we're the Dapper Dads. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry for this. Oh my God.
Yeah, Slim found a man relapsing into computer duster
in the bathroom at my workplace, which I thought couldn't be topped because that was hands down the craziest thing that had ever happened in the bathroom at work, per my understanding.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been worse.
Well, I mean, there's that regular that comes in who is in the wheelchair and then he will fall onto the floor and then ask people to pick him up, which is a weekly occurrence that happens. I don't want it to be, but I can't stop thinking that it is.
I knew there was a lady downtown by CJ's that used to just wait for people to look at her and fall to the ground and scream for help. And if you helped her, she'd ask for money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't help her, she would just scream for a minute or two.
You just got to walk past.
Then she'd get up. Because I'd be out there smoking a cigarette and she'd be like, oh my God, please help me. And then you wait and then she just gets up and she's fine.
Yeah.
It's a craft, and I respect it.
Well, at that point, I had left for the day. I had opened that day at work, and I was like, wow, that was some fucking crazy shit. And so, I laid down, went to bed, had to be at work at 6 a.m. the next day. So that's 2 hours before we open. I had a bunch of shit I had to do, and I'm just going about my day. It's a Sunday. It's usually pretty slow, in the morning. It doesn't pick up till about the midday when I'm about to leave. And at 8:07 in the morning, I'm just going to come out and say it. At 8:07 in the morning, two dudes were butt fucking in the handicap stall.
Can you confirm it was butt fucking?
I can't confirm that it was butt fucking because I was not the one who witnessed it. It was an employee of mine who then came up to me and said, hey, did you hear about the dudes butt fucking in the bathroom this morning? And I said,
you should have reprimanded that employee.
I said, I definitely would have heard about that if it happened. And apparently he had gone into the bathroom just to, take a piss because that's what you are supposed to do in a bathroom.
You can do a lot of things.
Well, and apparently they just had the door wide open. They were just in there just going for
it. That's how you get
at
8.
And it was 8:07 in the morning. So what's implied here is that these guys had a plan. These guys were they were up all night. They were probably drunk or doing coke or something. And they thought, man, you know what sounds like a wild trip? banging in the bathroom.
I like to think that they woke up early, got breakfast. Well, maybe not got breakfast, but
I mean, maybe.
I like to think that they had, just a nice Sunday morning.
I like to think that they went out.
Church is fucking in the bathroom.
I like to think they went out and got breakfast afterwards because it's got to be such a. I mean, like I've never fucked in a public bathroom, but I gotta imagine if you're into that kind of voyeurism, that like that's got to be a big thrill for you. You know, a lot of adrenaline there. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Once you work past the nerves that keep your dick.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How are you even gonna work past the nerves?
Yeah, I don't think I have public performance.
What? And it's like maybe if you shut the door stall, but it's like these dudes just had it wide open,
maybe
like no shame at all.
Opened it.
But that's even worse.
Well, I want to say this gently. But just like when we were coming back from Minnesota and we stopped in the bathroom and there was a man at the urinal. I don't know if I told this story on here, but when we walked in, he made hard eye contact with me and he was just standing at the urinal. I went to the stall next to him. And then when I opened the stall door, he had his head turned around looking in the mirror right at me when I opened the door.
Ugh.
And it was very weird. And then I think Kurd was like, yeah, that guy didn't seem like he was able to piss. What I believe, and I want to say this gently and not jump to assumptions. I believe that man was fishing for someone to have sex with him in that rest stop bathroom because it happens, and that's how they go about it. So I think maybe the door open was just like we're also open to friends joining in. I think it's very different for the gay community.
Where I work is not a place.
Well, yes, of course not.
It's not a place where you should be doing that.
Well, where should you be having gay early morning Sunday sex in the bathroom?
A bathroom at like a park or something, like I think like one of those, you know, because it's like it's
I hear the mall. It happens a lot in the mall, not just our mall, but malls across the nation.
But I mean, like that even seems more acceptable because it's like a large open space. Mine is a very specific location.
Well, it's really hard to hide 4 feet in the bathroom. I mean, you walk in and you know something's happening.
Well, and apparently they had the stall door open, and the dude that walked in made eye contact with both of them because they both just looked when he walked in, stopped, and then walked out.
They left?
They left.
Was there like a suction noise that happened?
He didn't mention it, but one can only imagine that there was.
Well, that makes it weird. Do you think he would finish?
Okay, so
I think that would be like the spark that made it end, if you know what I mean.
But then it's because it doesn't make sense to me, you know, because it's like to me, if they're doing it in a public bathroom, they want to get like have people know, like there's a thrill of somebody like walking in and catching you, you know,
somewhere else.
Well, yeah, and then it's like they had to go somewhere else and finish because it's like I don't know if you've ever stopped halfway through, but all you can think about is Christ, I got to get this out of me, I got to get this nut out.
No. I always stop halfway through.
Well,
I've been completed in 7 years.
That explains so much about your personality, and I would definitely recommend you finish sometime.
Where do I finish?
At this point, anywhere. I finish under
when
the table.
Pops up. No, I finish myself. I mean, in the throes of a romantic love making in the bathroom of a very public place right after they open. I haven't finished in a long time. But what I do, the whole reason I wanted you to tell this story is because I got the text later on in the day, and you had said,
what I had said is if you thought the duster thing was as bad as it got, 2 dudes were butt fucking in the handicap stall at 8:07 in the morning. But what
I read, just glancing at it, was if you think the dumpster thing was bad, 2 dudes butt fucking. So I thought for several minutes until I actually read the text was that there had also been people fucking in the dumpster, which I was like, you think he would have led with that over the duster?
So
they're just in the dumpster. Fucking, those are big dumpsters.
In this scenario, it's implied that there was 2 dudes in the bathroom, but there was also 2 dudes in the dumpster at the same time, and they were having a race to see who could finish first.
No, I thought you just thought you had told me about the dumpster, and I had
there was. Yeah.
So then I had all the visuals in my head of guys fucking in the dumpster.
It was a double D Saturday. You know, we had the duster and the dumpster. It was a day full of D's. Let's put it that way.
What you need is 2 dudes doing duster, fucking in the dumpster. That's the fucking. That's the cherry on top of everything, I believe.
2 dudes duped up on duster. Is there a D word for fucking?
Dicking down in the dumpster.
Two dudes dizzy off duster.
Dicking
down in a dumpster. Wow, that is
hard for you to get through that.
I got to try this. Okay, 2 dudes dizzy on duster, dicking down in a dumpster. There, I got it.
Yeah, that's my favorite Migos song.
Oh. 2 dudes dicking down in a dumpster. Mama.
High over the dumpster.
High off a duster. Just like my mama.
Oh, now it's gotten sad.
Well, I mean, it's like that. It's like the Chirac remix.
Culture 3.
Oh, God. It's like the Chirac remix from
song.
Montana of 300.
Oh my God. So yeah.
To us, she was a loving mother, but to other motherfuckers, she was clientele.
If you've ever had sex in a public bathroom or a dumpster,
just a public
anywhere
place,
weird, anonymously submit at www.thedapperdads.com. You can just put in a fake name and fake email, like we said. Tell us the weirdest place you've ever had sex.
Just submit your weird sex stories. That's what I want to hear.
Tell
on
us
the
weird
show.
sex stories, specifically a weird place that you've had sex.
What's the weirdest place you've had sex?
I knew that as soon as I said this, I was like, it's gonna come up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have anything that jumps out to me because I have real vanilla sex, not so much in public places. Although I do like fucking in public places.
I've had a handful of sexual occurrences on the highway that I can think of.
Okay. Do tell, I guess.
I mean,
try not to make it as graphic as you make everything.
Well, let's go ahead and just dig deep into this 30-minute graphic exploitation of my road travels.
Conspiracy theories and fucking on the highway.
I've just had a lot of sex in cars for a guy
on the highway driving.
Yeah, well, I wasn't personally driving the car, but I've had sex in a moving vehicle.
So a third party was driving the car?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Third party was driving the car. I've gotten a handy from a driver. Mm-hmm. I've also gotten roadhead while I'm driving.
What about roadhead while she's driving or he's driving?
Never a he. I want to put that out on the record. Yeah, not till tomorrow night when we're driving back.
Yeah, when you suck my dick.
Yeah, I'm gonna suck your dick while I'm driving.
You have to do it.
No, you have to suck my dick during
Let's
Valet's.
Suck each other's dicks while you're driving.
You know what? I'm fine with this. I'm okay with this. I've accepted
Someone in a rap song, I think it was Cage, said getting head from a bitch while she's still driving or something. I always thought that was one of the hardest bars I've ever heard.
How do you even logistically do that?
Who fucking cares at that point?
I feel like to logistically do it right,
abandon.
You got to be like standing on the seat with your body like an L shape.
You shouldn't do it. No, she's just doing it
while steering.
Yeah.
So like, is he holding the wheel while her foot's on the pedal?
You got the hands behind your head.
So he's just relaxing the whole time.
Yeah, you're ready to die. That's the thrill that I need to get off nowadays.
Didn't Biggie say, "Girl so fine, I'll suck your daddy's dick"?
Yeah, that's apparently a reference to like a Richard Pryor thing that no one gets. So it's not as weird, but it without context is extremely weird.
Still.
He also used to reference his friends. Basically, if he has beef with someone, he will have his friends fuck their 10-year-old son and throw him over the bridge. Biggie said some things that I don't even understand how we got past that.
Yeah, things you couldn't say today.
No, things you should never say, really, but here we are. I don't know. Yeah, I had sex in cars, but I don't think ever moving. One time I had sex in a car and my dad rode by on a bicycle.
What?
Yeah, which I always forget about.
Did he see you?
He didn't bring it up, and I feel like he would have because he used to get mad at me a lot about things.
Yeah.
Like just cuddling girls. One time I was cuddling a girl, my girlfriend at the time, on a couch, and I didn't take the garbage out. So he exploded and threw a full can of pop at my head about it.
While you were cuddling with the girl?
No, he like made her leave, and then he was like, "Take the garbage out. You were supposed to take the garbage out." So I took the garbage out, and then while I was taking it, he threw a full can of pop in my head. This was sad, and I didn't mean to bring it up.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Just a glimpse into my childhood trauma. Like I said, I got it. I got truckloads of it.
Man,
folks.
we've talked about you. We've extensively talked about Drama's trauma on the show, and it just keeps getting worse every time we talk about it.
I try not to. When I started saying it, I was like, oh. But yeah, the thing was, I lived next to I lived next to the blood bank and the Amcor training center.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
The blood bank, like I've said before, made me think there was a lot of blood banks in the world, and I think it was a very specific thing.
I'm familiar.
But so yeah, it was when you're like young and you can't have sex with the person you're with in a bed because you both live with your parents. So it's like, where do you have sex at? I'm gonna have the sex.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a place to do it. Unless people aren't home, or it's like a grandma's bed or whatever it might be.
I'm like fucking in your grandma's bed.
So we would drive around.
Mark?
We would drive around and occasionally get to humping in the back of a car. Which
those were the days.
No, that's not even fun.
No, but those were the days.
You had sex in the back of a car?
Yeah.
What was it? A Jeep Grand Cherokee?
Honest to God,
shout out our new sponsor, Jeep.
It was like some weird little fucking like Toyota or something.
Oh.
Like, it was okay. It was my first like not high school girlfriend, like I was a senior in high school, but she was a little bit older, so like she
real kind of whore that you could fuck.
Oh hell yeah. And so she would
let's not say anything that'll piss the people off.
Oh no, I'm not gonna paint her in a negative light at all, because at this time things were obviously good,
and then they went real bad.
Yeah, and then they went straight
your
to
normal
shit.
trajectory.
Yeah, you know how it goes. I get with these women, and they're fantastic. They're lovely people with a lot of right personality, and then they just turn into angry, bitter people for some reason. What?
And then the best thing is that there's dudes who wanted to fuck your exes while you were with them, and they're like, "We'll wait till they break up," but then you damage the girls so much that then it's not even the same girl.
Hell yeah.
Because you've tried to hit on those girls and they're in a relationship, and then they come out and you try to hit on them and they're fucking
like they're
wild,
ruined and shit.
And like, it sucks that dudes are shitty, but I also don't understand how like people get so like.
Well, this girl got engaged a month after we ended a 4-year relationship, and they're still together. So it's like,
see, maybe you're like that Good Luck Chuck movie.
Possibly. It's very possible.
We'll have to keep tabs on the rest of your exes and see how it goes.
I'd rather not. I just want them to know peace.
I've got a chart at my house I'll look into. I stalked them all.
That felt bad.
Anyway,
bad too.
So I was at the Amcor training center. Okay, please stop.
I can't.
Your heart can't take it. So we ran out of options to bone comfortably. So we just, being kids in the throes of love, went to the Amcor training center. My dad was real big on riding his bike all over the place. And I don't know where he would have been, but basically we were like around the back of this building, and it was pretty chill, and things were getting, hot and heavy.
Windows were getting
fogged up.
Hand on the window, slide down.
No, this isn't Titanic.
If only.
I happened to glance up and see my dad ride by on a bicycle.
Did he look in the car, or was he like looking ahead?
I think it was just one of those like panic, just a couple seconds. It just went so fast because he was flying through. I caught him at the end, and then I was just like, that was my dad, which no one wants to hear.
No.
I didn't want to have it happen. And like, he knew the car. We were in close proximity.
He had to know.
He had to have known. I feel like there's stickers on the car. And I was terrified to go home. And I went home, and he was just like watching TV. And I was like, hey, I'm home. And he was like, all right. And never said anything. And I feel like he's not the type to be like, I'm just never going to say it. Like, he would totally bring it up.
He'd be the guy. He's the kind of guy
weird point.
If any odd.
He would be so angry about it because he's weird.
From what I understand about your father, which is he's a lot like my father, which is just if something, how do I put it politely? If something that wouldn't offend a normal human being offends him, he will not shut up about it until you know about it.
Well, yeah, my dad rode by on a bike. Your dad just stood there and watched, which I think is illegal based on the age.
My dad, my very first girlfriend when I was
in... my very first dad.
No, my very first girlfriend, when like, that like first high school girlfriend you get where like it's not like serious or anything.
Nope.
And everything. Okay, well,
it's been dead serious.
Different lives. Me and her walked to the gas station after school one day to get,
like holding hands.
Of course, holding real heavy hand holding. You know what I'm saying?
How sweaty were your palms?
Incredibly. I was
like
so nervous. I was incredibly nervous to be touching a woman for the first time in my life.
A girl.
Yeah, a girl.
A girl as an adult.
I was a boy. I was a young boy.
I don't think you've ever been a boy.
I was a young boy at one point. I was
out of the womb and then right into growth spurts.
I was a young boy. People. I was a young boy who would go to his dad's studio apartment in town and then find the change he had hidden on top of the fridge and then take it to the coin star so I could buy monsters at the gas station.
That's the thing about having a kid. Like, you can't hide anything from it because it finds everything.
Yeah, you couldn't hide shit on top of the fridge from me. I was 6
years
just like
old. High level with it. The top
at
of
like
the fridge.
6.
I see some change up here.
See some change and
buy some cops,
some Jägermeister.
Yeah, that's when you started drinking.
Yeah, at 6.
6 shots.
Like Young Dolph in that song, got some head when I was 6.
No, we have to stop bringing that up.
I got drunk when I was 6.
Yeah, getting drunk when you're 6 is fine. I know people.
I don't think that's fine either.
To get them to go to sleep? If I have kids.
You can't have kids.
Is that like, are you saying I literally
both,
can't?
Both.
Yeah,
your doctor called
me. A lot
me.
of Mountain Dew and laptops on the crotch. I'm calling it now.
Your doctor called me and said that your nuts are basically like 2 hard-boiled eggs.
That doctor is a fucking bitch and a liar.
I mean, I just wish she would stop.
Hard-boiled eggs?
Yeah, hard-boiled eggs. Not even soft. She said hard-boiled eggs. Yeah. Send me texted me a graph of it for some reason. Text me
graph?
Yeah, there was
not
like
the X-ray.
What?
They tried to take an X-ray of my dick when I went for my knee, and I said, "You got to put something on it, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." Like if I wouldn't have brought it up, she would have just radiated my cock. And then she...
I love that. Just radiated your cock.
This big sandbag thing on my junk.
Yeah, that's what they have to do.
And then she kept like trying to get me to turn, and I was like, where can I put this? And she's like, well, you don't have to focus on that. We need your knee. And I'm like, I'm trying to not have you blast my balls.
I'm trying to not have my dick be
trying
weird.
To have you come look at this dick. And she kept making me pull my shorts up to a weird...
Hell yeah.
She was real baller.
I think you were molested at the doctor's.
Which time? Which one?
Specifically this time. Your doctor sent me, she said, do you want to know what Drama's testicles are like? And I said, no, but I feel like you're going to tell me anyway. And then she just sent me a picture of a Scotch egg. And I said, this is food. And she said, it's the same consistency.
Yeah, she wants you to eat my balls.
I said, is it the laptops? And she said, and the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, and the Monsters. That's her Christmas card is the weirdest thing. Yeah, I got it.
The X-ray of your testicles?
Yeah. Very upset.
And then on the inside, when you open it, it's a camera shot, blurry photo of you like trying to hide your balls from the X-ray.
And it just says what a loser, and then it says Happy Holidays, which just really bothers me the most.
Just say Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
like if that's what you celebrate
Christmas.
If that's what you celebrate, just say
Don't
Merry
take
Christmas.
offense on what people celebrate.
No.
So, yeah, I'm fine with my balls, but not Happy Holidays.
No.
It's disgusting. Fucking crazy.
We should make Dapper Dad's Christmas cards and have people be able to buy them online this year.
Oh, yeah, buy a Christmas card.
100% naked, but except Santa hats on the cock.
Send us your address and we'll send you a Christmas card.
Yeah, we'll do that. If you want a Dapper Dad's Christmas card this year,
we've got time to plan. It takes us several months to get anything.
Yeah, how long do you think it took us to take a live call on the show?
61 episodes, I believe.
Yup.
Plus a lot of episodes that never aired because of the gratuitous violence and whatnot.
I mean, there was that time you knocked out my tooth.
Yeah.
Well, we had to re-record that. We had to re-record that whole goddamn episode.
Yeah.
And then you came.
Speaking of recording
episodes,
to
my house with that can of gasoline.
Came in that hole in your mouth.
Came in my face gash.
Yeah, I knocked a tooth out and I just dribbled a little in there because it's always sad little drips.
Yeah,
for me.
you. It's amazing that your piss stream can hit a ceiling, but your cum shots dribble out like a crack in a wall.
I feel like everyone's trying to test me. I will pee on the ceiling.
I would love to see you pee on a ceiling.
Are you gonna watch the whole thing?
Do I have to look at your dick?
No, just watch me from behind. But then I get nervous. So let me start and then burst in the bathroom.
How about I just
turn?
Oh God.
How about you just turn the podcast?
How about I just turn the other way like this, and then I'll hear it hit the. I know what the floor sounds like, and so I'll know if it's the ceiling. So why don't you just go ahead and piss right now?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, I don't have to pee. This is the type of pressure I can't work under. You know this.
Well, man, I'm trying to give the people the content that they want. I've been told constantly that we should just whip our dicks out and get married already.
Yeah, people harp on that.
People seem to think we just love each other, but I can't fucking stand this guy.
I wish I never had to see you.
I wish I could just break your back right now.
Fucking do it, bitch.
Just pick you up and just crack right over my leg like Bane.
Yeah. Speaking of crack, by the time this airs, we will have been on the Gore Score podcast.
Yes.
So I think for once we should get ahead and promote. I will say we don't know what we're going to say, so there's huge chances we've burned the bridge completely.
There's a huge chance that we have made some enemies at this point.
I probably broke some bathroom fixtures in Colby's house, but I mean,
I for sure have.
It's the price you pay, letting two degenerates. I was
told that if we get drunk, we can't puke in the house because his wife won't clean it up, and I think that's just too bad. She's gonna have to be cleaning up a bunch of puke.
Well, I'm just gonna hide the puke.
Oh yeah, let's puke in like houseplants and how about if you got to puke? If you got to puke, go ahead and just go into Colby's sock drawer and just fill up all the socks with puke.
I want to puke into things.
Yeah, you've got the. Well, that was a lengthy discussion we had at the bar about puking into things. I don't remember all of it,
but I know I can do whatever I said I could do then. Right? You have to stand defiantly behind the things you say when you're drunk.
I always stand defiantly behind the things I say, regardless of how fucked up I am.
I know. Then we just we do a PR thing and say you were drunk.
Yeah.
And then we just delete
my Twitter got hacked.
Yeah, pretend you got hacked.
Valet allegedly got hacked this week.
Yeah, I don't want to harp on what he initially said.
I don't either, but let's just go ahead and say Valet got hacked because I can't stand behind that.
But yeah, if you're listening to this now and you haven't already checked out the Gore Score, go listen to their most recent episode as of this one airing, and hopefully they released it. Is what I'll say.
It's my understanding from when I was a guest on the Gore Score that they just record it and upload it like right away.
Well, yeah, yours was stripped down and more formal. I feel like we'll be drunk and nuisance. So
yeah, we're gonna.
They might not put it out because of all the horrible things.
They are gonna have to 100% edit everything that we say because
It's just them asking questions in silence. Yeah, we're gonna teach them how to edit because we're gonna say something.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I don't like the idea of.
I don't know what I'm gonna say
drunk
yet.
And loose.
So it's gonna be in like 24 hours from now. let's say it's about 8 o'clock right now.
Yeah,
so,
right now I'll have pulled my balls out.
Within 24 hours, Colby, your house is going to be half burned down at this point. Let's just put it that way. I mean, you can't bring the Dapper Dad somewhere and expect us to behave. That is something
in our contract.
It's something that we have proven time and time again. You cannot have us together in a public place and have us behave. I don't think we're allowed back at that bar in Minneapolis.
No, I don't think we're allowed back to many bars from these Dad Squad trips.
Yeah,
like for sure.
Some of them shut down after we're there.
Yeah, a lot of bars have shut down after I'm there in general. So times that by 4.
Because I'm the equivalent of like 3 people.
Well, I just mean the 4 of us because there's at least
you
one.
get the 4 of us together and it just turns into a radical nightmare. It is.
Yeah, when we were shouting at that bar in Madison, like that one, I'd be surprised if it's still open. And that was a nice looking bar.
Which one?
The one when all of us were there, and I thought I shaved my pants, and my knee was fucked up, and I drank all the water.
And we just kept going back to that bar for some.
the
one,
not that
where I got the back rub from Prof.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one.
And then they couldn't release the video because of you.
Yeah,
they said a monstrosity.
They said a Prof touched a monster, and then he had to go to a psychiatrist after that.
I heard he had to get his hand replaced.
I heard I was actually the inspiration for all the uncomfortable parts of Pookie Baby.
Yeah, probably.
Confirmed.
But yeah, that was shocking that we were allowed there. Also, we're always at breakfast being loud. This is always a thing.
We are never allowed back at that diner.
Fuck that diner. Good.
Yeah, first of all, man, I liked the food. I thought it was good.
Well, yeah. Who puts peppers, literal peppers
in biscuits?
And gravy?
Even I am against
peppers.
that. Red. What? There was green too, wasn't there?
There's just a clusterfuck of.
Why would you even put peppers in sausage gravy?
You think if you read pepper, biscuits and gravy, they mean pepper.
Yeah, like cracked black pepper.
Of course.
Because that's how I've always had it in the Midwest.
No fucking shit.
That sounds like some sort of weird California thing to put peppers in it.
Places try to change food to make it trendy and cool. It's fine how it is. We've been eating it like that for like 100 years.
Basic food is fine the way it is. There's nothing wrong with it.
Twist on it.
That's why every time you go to a
you're not gonna suck my dick.
Nope. That's why every time you go to one of those fancy burger bars where they've got like 15 different weird fucking burgers at the bottom, it always just says the classic or the American, where it's just got your burger, pickles, lettuce, tomato, ketchup, mustard, just regular ass burger. Because there's some people who just want shit the way it is, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But even
I just heard a weird cry come out of the left ear of my mic, and I'm pretty sure our system is haunted by goblins.
That's me on the inside. You opening a beer when you haven't finished that beer?
No, I didn't even. I picked up this one and I thought I'd finished it. Well, let's go ahead and finish this one.
But yeah, that's the thing I normally do, especially if I'm staying in a city, is wake up, sometimes maybe still drunk, and go to a breakfast place and just be loud. And there's always families.
Well, the problem was we had ham with us that weekend.
Yeah, that is specific. Because I
variable.
Wasn't loud. Yeah, wild card.
We'll call him a wild card. That was a.
Well, there was another time when we were in Madison for a Prof show, and we stayed, and the next day it was a snowstorm. I lost my friend. I thought he died. He almost died. He should have died. We went to breakfast, and no, I'm not saying like I wished he was dead. I mean, what he did is qualifies as dying.
Should have equaled death.
Should have killed him. And we went to a breakfast place the next day, and it was just. When I'm like, after a long night of drinking, I don't get hungover. Everything's funny to me.
Yeah.
And we drove around forever, and it was ridiculous. And then we got there, and my buddy who doesn't drink a lot, he was the one who came to Prof this year and got kicked out or just left before Prof even came on.
The guy carrying the handle around?
Yeah, not the handle, just the pint.
It was still a lot of Jack Daniels to be carrying around.
That Jack Daniels.
As
I think
did
that's
I.
what happened
we
to
all
my
did.
knee. Not really, because it was still pretty full. So me and him tried to really get into it outside smoking cigarettes in an alley, and I don't know what happened to him. But it was him, and he was so thirsty. And you know me, my breakfast, I like to order 3 drinks in the morning because I'm also thirsty. I do usually a water, coffee, of course, and then a lemonade preferably, but I also deal with a juice of sorts. 3 drinks for me alone. That's the beginning of my order.
Nothing
Keep
wrong
writing,
with that.
bitch. It's only begun. He wanted water, and they gave him a cup. And he was like, can I get more water? Like, I need more water. Is there a bigger cup? She's like, only a pitcher. And he's like, perfect, I'll take a pitcher of water. So then he has a pitcher of water that he's drinking. And then someone walks around with a pitcher of water to fill up water. And he was like, hey, I need a refill. So he had a man refill his pitcher of water with another pitcher of water. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. And it was so funny, I could barely eat. And there's kids and families. He brought the grandparents out for a nice Sunday breakfast. Mm-hmm. You've got me that's maybe still drunk, just laughing while my friend's refilling a pitcher with a pitcher.
Well, and then you had us at the diner, which was between the five of us.
Because there was like 6 of us that day.
Except we were so much worse.
You had to have been at that other one. We're always loud and inappropriate.
Yeah, that is just a dad squad fact. So basically, if you haven't checked out the Gore Score, go ahead and give them a listen. We've given them several shout outs on the show before because they give us such loving, glowing reviews every time. They're very interactive with us. We got some great video. I got 2 great videos today of Colby telling people the Dapper challenge we issued on the last show. One at work and then one to his wife, which I definitely appreciated.
I hope we're not the what stems a divorce.
Oh, we absolutely are gonna cause a divorce at some point in the future.
Yeah, so do that fucking Dapper Dads challenge. I think that was the first one we ever got. You got to go up to someone and say, you put a kink in my slinky, I'd rather be dead than be you.
Yep, and
straight
we got
to their face.
But yeah, so check out the Gore Score. They are a horror movie centric podcast. Rotating cast of characters, from what I can tell. It seems like they have more and different people all the time on.
Yeah, it seems like they've figured it out now, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like they're hitting a really good groove with it. They're finally starting to figure out their brand consistency. You know, it's always good to see a brand like come to life and then finally hit their stride. You know,
when do you think we will?
I don't know, episode 160. 260,
460,
420,
666.
Maybe. Episode 420 at 69 minutes in. That's when we're gonna hit our stride.
Tight. I'm really excited.
Oh God, I can't wait to finally do something right.
God, we'll be like old men
by episode 4. That's only gonna be like 3-4 years from now.
That's not
5, 10 years from now.
Jesus Christ!
Do you think we're gonna be doing this in 10 years?
For what we make now.
I mean, I hope it's different.
You think we'll be alive in 10 years?
I don't want to be. I'm kidding. I want to live to be 100.
You will, because evil always wins. What was I going to say? I got caught up in the sweet release of death.
Oh, yeah. I keep thinking about how nice it's going to be to die.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to be on another podcast together.
It's kind of fun because it's like, you know, it's really nice to know.
It's out of our hands.
Well, yeah, because it's like we're going to be guests, you know. It's not like something where we have to sit there and do all this planning beforehand, you know. It's like we're basically being
all the planning we do before ours.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a warm welcome invitation. We're being invited by friends of the show to come be on their show.
They're making a huge mistake.
It's an honor, really. You know, it's somebody respects our craft enough that they want us to be a part of theirs.
Yeah, and they'll realize how bad of a decision it was.
Oh, I don't think they realize how much they're going to regret everything we're going to do tomorrow yet.
No. Yeah, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. Have you heard of that Mandy movie?
Mm-mm.
I watched it, and it's a wild ride.
What's it about?
It's Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah, where I've seen the promos where it's like he's all just covered in blood and shit like that.
It's an interesting
What's
one.
it on?
The Fire Stick.
Gotcha.
I think it's on Amazon Prime. You got to buy it and shit, but I totally purchased it legally and was the utmost.
Yes, God knows you're the epitome of lawfulness around here.
I also watched Mom and Dad with him. He's making a comeback.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
We're implying that he's making a comeback.
I thought Mom and Dad was really good. I thought Mandy was good, I think. It's one of those movies.
Is it like B-movie good?
It's fucking long. It's fucking long and slow as fuck in some parts. It's like astonishingly slow in some parts.
So one of my favorite movies of all time is Blade Runner 2049. It's the sequel to the original Blade Runner. And everybody thought it was going to be garbage because Blade Runner is one of those movies that like you can't fuck with, you know, like it's one of those perfect penultimate movies. But somehow Denis Villeneuve made a worthy sequel, if not better than the original, in my opinion. But I was reading an article today that apparently there is a 4-hour cut of this movie that exists somewhere. It's already like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And one of the things they mentioned, so Just a little backstory. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of Blade Runner, it's based on the story Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip Dick, which poses the question, if we create artificial intelligence, is that actually a life? Is it a life that matters? You know?
What does this podcast become?
Yeah, man, we've talked about so much shit. It is whatever it wants to be. This thing has a mind of its own.
Yeah, but you explain plots too long sometimes.
Well,
people, the spike of listeners just plummets.
Well, the whole basis of the series is do beings that we create out of artificial life matter? Like, are they souls that matter?
Yeah,
you know,
I'm familiar.
Well, in what they do in the second movie is Ryan Gosling's character. He's an android, and
Does he get naked?
Hang dong. He bangs his virtual reality wife at one point. That's a really interesting scene to watch. Well, and so he's submitted to these tests by his like corporation that he works for, his boss, to make sure that his android programming is working within the confines of what it's programmed to work into, because he has outside inputs like human emotion and human actions and stuff like that. And if he starts acting too wild, they will retire him. And so the way they test him is it's a very loud yelling voice, and he says responses to it, and he just has to sit there very calmly and like say his responses. And so they're like, you see a green cat walking down an alley, green. You see the cat is alive. And it goes, it's a very jarring, hard scene when you see it, but apparently those scenes went on for like 10 minutes straight in this 4-hour long cut of the movie. And I'm just trying to picture what it's like sitting there for 10 minutes. Picture you're going to the theater to see a 4-hour movie, and you have to sit there for 10 minutes, because there's like 3 or 4 scenes like that in the movie, because he does one and they're like, you're doing good, buddy, keep it up, go out there and kill some people. And then they do another one and they're like, do you see your levels? You are off the chart right now. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what the Mandy movie, it just starts off slow like a lot of movies do, and that's not as bad. But there's a scene where a guy hangs dong, and it's
like full dong,
full frontal.
Wow.
And it's the movie. My favorite thing about the movie is it's so like the colors in it are fucking unbelievable. I've heard people compare it to Into the Void. Is that what's called? Enter the Void? What is that? Enter the Void? Into the Void? Whatever that movie is. You know what I'm talking about?
The crazy horror movie?
The fucking crazy, colorful, trippy, whatever the fuck that is. And yeah, it's like, it's not that like overwhelming. It's just everything. Immediately, I was like, this is gorgeous. Like the colors in it are phenomenal. But yeah, there's a scene where like the main thing happens. No spoilers. The thing that you're anticipating. And it's so fucking long, and the guy's hanging dong, and it's just like feels like it's never gonna end. They do a cool thing where like the main girl and this guy who's hanging dong, it's like close up on their face, and it takes a minute to realize the faces are like switching because they look kind of similar, and it's done really well. So it just like comes and goes in between two different faces, and that's sick. But it's just like this long fucking monologue that's just a nightmare. The movie's like 2 hours, I think. And so, yeah, it like starts off slow and it's fucking rough. But then once the main thing happens that leads Nicolas Cage's character to get out there and get crazy, then it kind of picks up. It feels to me like if you took like Death Wish and like Hellraiser and like put them together, there's some weird shit in it. The best part is there's a cheddar goblin. And that was
cheddar goblin.
Yeah, that's what everybody's talking about, the cheddar goblin. It's like a short scene, because I tried to go into it blind. And I kept hearing about this.
Yeah, I know nothing about this.
Yeah, movie. It's the best way. I mean, like, yeah, it's basically a revenge film. But yeah, there's a cheddar goblin, and I thought from hearing people talking,
like the restaurant cheddars.
No, it's like it's just a small scene. But I like people talk about the scene, and I'd seen photos of it, and the photos of how it's done are fucking incredible. And I thought for some reason, like the girl, like clearly it's like a druggy, trippy movie. It'd probably be great on some like wild drugs because it just looks like that. And there's specifically a scene that would be wild. And I thought something happened to her where she went to like different things, like different realities or something. And one had a cheddar goblin. That's what I was going from. That's not the case. So
like
then
I
was
kind of. The sixth dimension is the cinnamon dimension.
I was kind of underwhelmed because I had basically created a way sicker movie in my mind with like a cheddar goblin.
I hate when I do that. Like when you're watching something.
Yeah, that's why I try to go in blind, but then I know just enough to like concoct something in my head, and then I'm always like underwhelmed. So
yeah, because it's like I've seen such good movies that it's like my brain is already set up to expect expect greatness,
Yeah,
you know?
but people either love or absolutely hate this movie. I feel like I'm one of the few people that's like in the middle. Like, it was good.
You're in the middle about a lot of things, though. You're very
Just not,
critical about movies.
Yeah, I'm not like thrilled by movies anymore. I'm also never scared. Someone tell me a scary movie or a graphic movie. That's what we have to bring up, the most graphic movies on the Gore Score.
There's a new miniseries that's going to be coming out on Amazon next year based on a graphic novel called The Boys. I just found out they're going to be doing. Have you heard about this?
No.
So The Boys is a graphic novel series about...
Do they crack open cold ones?
I hope to God they do. It's actually about the Dapper Dads, it turns out.
Well, then we need to get a lawyer.
So have you ever seen Watchmen? The movie Watchmen?
No.
So Watchmen is about an alternate...
Please, God, I know enough about it. Don't keep...
No, but you know how it's like superheroes, but they're like fucked up?
Yeah.
What it is this is a reality where superheroes go unchecked completely. So like if you're born with like super strength, you're just a huge asshole that goes around like hurting people and knocking down buildings. And so the government puts together this institution of dudes with superpowers to go out and check these dudes basically. And the main guy calls them the Boys because he comes from a Boston neighborhood, and they had like a group of toughs that would come out, and they were called the Boys, and they would come clean everything up. And so I saw they greenlit this, and Seth Rogen is doing it, and so I'm like, okay, so it's got to be good because he fucks with comics so much. And I started flipping through some of the
Green Hornet went
well,
great.
I started flipping through some of the because he does the Preacher show, and the Preacher show is phenomenal. If you've ever read the Preacher graphic novels, those are some of the most wild, crazy. There's one scene where he tells a guy to go fuck himself, and the dude's spine, like his body starts contorting, and he starts fucking himself.
Yeah,
like
Marilyn Manson.
It's all like it is like himself fucking. It is the.
Did you read that Marilyn Manson got more ribs removed to eat his own asshole or something?
Yeah, wasn't that an Onion article?
I don't think the Onion does that kind of.
I think the Onion absolutely did it.
I believe it was a Hard Times article.
But one of the things I saw in The Boys that just made me laugh really hard is that like the dudes, these off-brand superheroes have like their own costumes they make.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to make a joke that is, I got more ribs put in to stop me from sucking my own dick. I really took the wind out of it, but I'm glad I said it.
Good.
Continue.
So there's a scene where like obviously like these superheroes create their own costumes and they're kind of makeshift and stuff like that. And this one guy, he's in The Boys, but he's like a newer recruit, and he grabs a guy by the arms and because he like runs at him like this, he grabs his arms and swings him, throws the dude and rips his arms off, and he's just standing there holding the arms looking at him. And one of the other guy runs by dressed in a makeshift Captain America suit and goes, "Get out of my fucking way," and just knocks him down. It is a wild looking comic.
Is it like Dead Snow 2?
It basically looks like
that movie is underrated.
Yeah, Dead Snow 2.
When he gets the arm and he's like, when he kills the kid trying to give him like CPR.
Dead Snow is underrated, where the dude's taking the shit.
Dead Snow is great and like gory and fucking what I want from a movie.
Yeah.
And then Dead Snow 2 has the perfect level of comedy mixed in it too, when they keep having to resuscitate that body and it just gets more, and it just keeps going.
Like the Z Money ad lib.
And they just keep bringing it back. They use them to get the tire out. That movie is fucking.
If you've never seen the Dead Snow movies, you are missing out. Nazis.
It's just great because, like I said, the first one's so serious and like brutal, and that movie scared the shit out of me when I first downloaded it.
The dude bangs the girl in the porta potty outside.
I downloaded it, and back in the day, whenever that came out, and
what was that, like 2008, 9?
It was like 9, I think. And I downloaded movies, and I would download some movies, and it would just not have the audio, and I kept running this issue. So I downloaded it, and I watched the first scene, and it's just a person running through the woods, and I turned it up real loud because there wasn't any sound, because it's just not any noise.
Yeah.
And then a zombie pops out right away, and it scared the shit out of me, and I was like, this is gonna be great. And then, I love when they rip all the appendages off the guy. I had a lot of gifts from that on my computer when I was younger.
We're finally going to be getting into October, and I know this is a tradition that you do, which I've also adopted.
Already started.
You started early this year. We do one.
You can't cram enough in. I don't have time to watch movies.
Every October we do one horror movie a day, so we try to every night.
I can't. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I start early, because I can never do like every single day.
What I would like us to start doing is on Fridays when we do this. Afterwards, we go watch a horror movie.
I was thinking
afterwards.
that.
Go back to my place, crack some beers, watch a horror movie.
Yeah, we definitely need to watch some, because there's something I wanted to show you. But yeah, what have I've already watched. I watched Hellraiser. What did I just watch? Night of the Demons. I've never seen Night of the Demons.
How was it?
It was good for what it was. It's it feels a lot like a lot of other movies, and it's not. It's like campy 80s, very like stereotypical shit.
There's one I just downloaded that what's it called? It's like Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Yeah, that's by the person
like
who makes Mandy. That's the guy's
Is it really?
first film. Yeah, the guy's got a crazy name, but that's his first film.
Yeah, I just downloaded that. Because here's the poster for it. The poster looks fucking wicked.
It's also supposed to look really sick. I've been told that movie's like, it looks better than it actually is.
Like, there's a shot from it.
Yeah,
like that.
I've heard it looks really cool, but it's like not as great. But who knows? I've seen a lot of stills.
Like, it just looks really trippy and crazy. I'm into shit like that, though. I like horror movies, but I like something more where it's like a psychological horror where they have like odd, like weird filming.
I don't even
cosmic horror is where I get off, man, because that's the shit that keeps me up all night is cosmic horror.
My main thing that like still creeped me out for the longest time was exorcism movies. But I feel like there hasn't been a good one. I rewatched Exorcism of Emily Rose like last year,
which is a good movie.
It's long though, and if you actually break it down, it's like an episode of Law and Order because there's so much of the court shit, and it's like fucking. But yeah, when I remember when the people's eyes turned black in like the classroom, I remember that creeping me out because that shit always like creeps me out, like religious shit, like Exorcist or like even The Omen has like those tendencies and shit. But I feel like there still hasn't been, because the last one I watched was that one that just ends and it says, for more information, go to this website.
Oh, that's the
and
shit I can't
stand. I want those people to die.
Yeah.
The people who made that are fucking ridiculous.
There was the last really good possession movie I saw I think it was called Veronica. It was like that Spanish. It was that Spanish language one that was on Netflix. I got a snap
of you looking very scared watching that.
Honest to God, man, that movie really freaked me the fuck out. It was just it's in Spanish, so you'll have to watch it.
I know how to read.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What was the last subtitle movie I suffered through? Have you ever seen a movie called Dogtooth? Dogtooth.
No, I have not. Let me look this up.
Well, I can just tell you about it. Because looking it up really doesn't do anything because in the grand scheme of movies, it's just basically a family in a house. But long story short, it's a family who doesn't let their children leave the house. And I think it's like a French film or something.
Greek,
yeah. So that was like a subtitle one. And it's very confusing with the subtitles because what they do in the movie, and I don't think it's even explained really, is they use different words for different things. So chair will be like telephone. So they'll be like, pull the telephone out. And it doesn't like fill you in on that for a while.
Kind of like the lingo on A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, but less, like, it's just switching words. The lingo in Clockwork Orange is fucking crazy. Polylogies.
Well, I read that book in high school, and what is so phenomenal about that book, the way it's written, is he has a index in the back of the book for what the words are.
I know.
So, have you read it?
Yeah, I was fucking obsessed with that
Okay, so did you have...
I've watched it and read it.
So let me know if this was your experience with it, because I've read it several times, and when you read it the first time, you're constantly flipping back to the index, but you get like a quarter of the way through and suddenly everything just starts making sense, and then you're just reading it like a normal book for the rest of the book. That was honestly probably the most fun I've ever had reading a book was A Clockwork Orange, because it was so cool to just automatically adapt all this lingo right away, you know?
And because when that's another movie, like when you watch it without the context, like the first time I watched it, I was probably like 14 and like not understanding like the context of what they're saying or just even like the milk bar.
There was so we had to do a project in high school for my psychology class. No, this is going to fuck you up.
What did they let you do in your school?
So much shit. And there was this kid, and he used the beginning of like right before the woman gets raped in the house where they're like dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's part of this presentation video that he made because he was using it as like dancing and culture or something like that. And so he's like, and here's an example, and he's like da da da, and he's dancing, and it cuts off a split second right before the rape. Right before that. And my teacher, his name was Dirk Palmer. He was this big guy, had a big laugh and a big voice to go with it. And he goes, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that stopped right there."
Yeah, I was like wildly obsessed with that movie, which looking back doesn't paint me in a good light. But yeah, just as a 15-year-old, I was a droog for Halloween one year.
Oh, hell yeah.
On my coat, my Dickies coat that had like patches and pins on it, I had painted eyeballs on the sleeves. I wanted, if I could have got a tattoo as a kid, I would have the eyeballs on my sleeves.
Oh, thank God you didn't go through with that.
Bad. in my fucking art class, we had to make masks, so I just made the one with the long nose, which no one got the context, so they just thought it was a big dick face mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, I used to watch that movie every day. I don't know why. I just fucking, because there's so many punk bands that are so
reference it and stuff. And I mean,
so
Christ,
much.
even the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror had Bart dress up
there's
like.
several ones, or even when he tries to reach for the cupcakes is the scene where he tries to reach for the boobs after he's been reformed.
Yeah.
Which, like, yeah, the movie has a really horrible scene, and they always talk about remaking it. Like, every year they're talking about how it's in the works.
Like,
and
why
what
would
they're
you
gonna
remake
do
it?
is they're gonna do like a Last House on the Left or I Spit on Your Grave and make it just way more intense than it needs to be. Which, like, it's I don't like when there's
fine the way it is,
rape
though.
in movies.
No.
I don't like when there's rape anywhere. It's a horrible, disgusting
We are
thing.
a very anti-rape podcast.
Yes, I do like to take at least that one strong stance. Call us crazy.
Call us crazy, but we are
that.
so against rape on this show.
But yeah, I get, like, in the movie, like, trying to do the most extreme thing to show the reform. I feel like it, I don't know if I just try to justify, but I feel like in the context of the movie proving that, like, reforming people in the way they did, like, it kind of makes sense. I feel like they could have just not shown it. And there's a lot of weird shit in that movie. And yeah, it doesn't hold up well. And I always forget how, like, crazy. And yeah, I'm glad I don't have eyeballs on my wrists. But,
same. I can think of several tattoos I wanted to get in my youth.
Oh yeah,
I did not get.
I would have so many because I
had so many collarbone pieces I wanted to get as a kid.
Several as well.
Yeah, I wanted to get one of the most regrettable tattoos. I'm glad I didn't get. I wanted to get one of the Moonanites from Aqua Teen Hunger Force on my forearm right here.
Great.
Can you imagine, like, going to job interviews with that? I mean, like, it's bad enough I got a Grateful Dead face in this fucking pineapple thing, but, like, it's can you imagine showing up with a moon? Oh, it's from an old Adult Swim cartoon that you probably never watched.
Yeah, there's I would have a lot of bands that I don't listen to so much anymore.
Oh my
Lower
god,
class brats.
bro!
I was
such a fucking hipster in like 2011. I was gonna get Tom Waits lyrics tattooed on my collarbone.
I was gonna get Atmosphere lyrics tattooed on my collarbone.
See, but that's still like decent.
I would still get
though,
the lyrics. Just I don't think the collarbone thing works.
Yeah, I would still get the Tom
Plus
Waits
I'm
thing, but
beat now.
Yeah, and I mean nobody wants to see those stretched out lyrics on your weird dumpy body.
My girl.
You show him the slug. He's just like, this is not why I started making music. Atmosphere is just over.
Gray.
It's like, okay, what was it? Did you ever see Constantine, the movie Constantine?
Yeah, I did.
Where they're like, don't look in the mirror, and the guy looks and his hair suddenly turns white. That's slug when he sees your tattoo.
That's exactly what happens.
Man, can we make Constantine one of the movies we watched together? Because that movie was incredible.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Me either. I remember having the DVD, though, that my mom bought me and just watching that constantly on the living room TV.
I wasn't a huge fan of it, but
I really liked it because it had, in my opinion, that movie has one of the best portrayals of the devil in film that I've ever seen. Because
what about the movie Devil?
Well, see, they always try to make it where, like, the devil is like this just omnipotent, just like overall evil thing, you know?
Yeah.
But in Constantine, when the devil finally shows up, he like drips out of his dimension. His feet are covered in like this black slime, but he's wearing this completely white suit. And he's like very charming and like characteristic and stuff. But then you see him like get really pissed at Constantine at one point, and he like stretches out, and you see like these tattoos kind of creeping up his neck, and like his teeth kind of bare. And you're like, okay, he plays like this weird, like kind of charming Southern gentleman. But then like you see him like not demonish, but like you see that show a little bit. And to me, that was just, as a kid, that was the coolest portrayal of the devil, because I grew up as like, you know, a weird little Christian kid.
Yeah.
And so I always had this
bitch.
Well, I always had this idea of the devil in my mind and what he was like and stuff like that. And so to see him portrayed in this really like cool way, it seemed very accurate to me of what I always pictured the devil was like, because I always talk about him being very charming. And because I mean, like, if you were to meet, because they always talk about, you know, old blues musicians selling their soul at the crossroads and everything, and you're not going to picture some weird, scary winged demon showing up. You're going to picture some like very charming guy showing up, because if someone's going to convince you to sell your soul, he's got to be a bit of a charming shyster.
I would sell it to the real looking devil. My favorite devil in film is from Little Nicky.
Oh, I mean, God, I have not seen Little Nicky since I was a kid.
Little Nicky all the time.
That was
one of my favorite movies.
You can do it, Ozzy. Bite this freaking head
movie.
off.
It's the best Adam Sandler.
That's
movie.
an oxymoron, but I'll accept it.
Yeah, but it is the one good one. It's still fucking. Oh God, it's so good.
Hey, I got this demon juice here for you. Demon juice, give me that.
Yeah, there's just so many fucking.
So much stupid, man. I think I'm gonna go home and
from
watch.
The South.
I was gonna go
the
home.
Deep South.
I was gonna go home and play BioShock, but I think I'm gonna go home and watch Little Nicky now.
I think you should. I have it on DVD.
I do not.
I'll ship it to you.
Can I borrow it?
Yeah.
Can you bring it to me tomorrow so I can borrow it?
Yeah.
Tight.
We need to watch my two favorite Halloween movies that I must recommend if you're gonna do what we do, which you should. Night of the Creeps.
Yep.
And Return of the Living Dead.
I want to say just as the Dapper Dads in general, we're going to go ahead and recommend the Ghoulie movies based off of what we went through last year.
What did I watch, though? Did I watch Ghoulies? There was a mix-up. What did we see at that bar?
Ghoulies.
Okay. What did I watch?
I don't know.
I watched something else.
Because we saw Ghoulies 3.
The one where they get shot with a shotgun, and it's like, oh, fuck.
Critters.
Yeah,
you watched Critters.
I think I watched 2 different Critters, and
there's 4 of them. Leonardo DiCaprio's in one of them.
Halfway through. But I gotta watch Ghoulies. I got mixed up.
I've realized it during this podcast, but I'm really happy and I want to say it since I finally got internet at my place. I can hook my Fire Stick up now so I can watch all this shit. I'm so beyond happy.
My biggest thing is I get like overwhelmed by like
all the options on the Fire Stick.
Well, just any horror movie, because that's what I've been doing. Is like, all right, watch them. So I started with Hellraiser, and then I watched something else. What the fuck? Night of the Demons I watched because I seen it on a t-shirt, and I was like, yeah, I've never seen that, and that shirt looks cool, and it was decent. I've watched a few other ones, but yeah, you go through and you just look and you're like, oh, that's sick, I love all these movies, and then you're like, what the fuck do I even watch? I want to watch all of them, and I know there's not time, and I don't want to start with great and then end up with shit, and I don't want to start with
I'm finally at that age where I realize I have to set like an evening aside to watch a movie, because it used to be when I was younger, you'd just be like, get off work and watch a couple of movies, you know, or like watch like 6 hours of a TV show series on Netflix or something, but now it's like I get home from work and everything else that I do outside of work, and it's like I want to just lay down and relax. There's still so many movies that have come out. Okay, so the 4 big blockbusters that came out this summer: Deadpool 2, Avengers Infinity War, Jurassic World, and Solo: A Star Wars Story. I've seen Jurassic World twice and none of the others, and
I haven't seen any of them, and I don't think I will be.
Jurassic, I've said it before and I said it again, I cannot justifiably say that was a great movie, but it wasn't a bad movie either. Like, I'll definitely watch it again, but it wasn't great.
To watch Sorry to Bother You.
I've heard good things about that.
I've heard phenomenal things, but now I'm like, it's got to be horror movies. I'll watch it in November.
November 1st, let's get together and watch Sorry for Bothering You.
I'll probably watch it before that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, go listen to the Gore Score we're on and see what happened.
Well, I definitely think
to you from the past, as usual.
It's going to be a fun time. If you haven't checked out the Gore Score yet, they are a obviously horror movie centric podcast,
so like what we just went on a rant about.
But if that isn't necessarily your thing, at least check out the episode we're going to be on, because
it'll be fucking hilarious.
It's honest to God, I don't think we're going to get too much into horror movies with those guys.
I'm going to wear sunglasses and not talk a lot, I think.
It's going to be like a roast where like you're sitting in the corner just with sunglasses, nodding the whole time.
I think it's going to be like a Chief Keef interview.
Ooh, God, wouldn't that be fantastic? What if that's the surprise they have for us? Chief Keef is there.
Chief Keef is there. Well,
he's like tied up though. He's like, I
don't respect any of them.
And we're like, someone's gonna come kill you.
Yeah. And then it's like
take the gag out. He's like, there's 37 dudes on the way to kill you, and we're like, we didn't have anything to do with this.
You just put the gag back in.
Will you sign our naked bodies, sir?
So yeah, go to www.thedapperdads.com. Do all the things you can do there. dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com. 402-7-DAPPER. That's 402-732-7737. Let us know if you enjoyed that one live phone call we got, and we'll try to figure this out better for the future.
Yep.
If it continues, tell us what else you want to see, and we won't do any of it. Bye.
See ya.
Boners.